Here and ate beef 3, 4, 5 days a week for, as far as I'm concerned, over a decade of contaminated beef. How much is in my system? How much is in my kids' system? Is it going to kill them before they get a life?
There's something poisoning America's farms. A chemical that was built in a lab decades ago by companies who knew in private that it was highly toxic. Now that chemical is showing up almost everywhere, and named Wilbur Tennant.
And this is what they expect a man's cows to drink on his own property.
Wilbur's cows had been acting deranged and dying off at an alarming rate.
There was a serious problem occurring on that property. There was something coming out of this landfill next to his property.
That landfill belonged to the largest employer in town, the chemical giant DuPont. Chemical in particular.
PFOA, perfluorooctanoic acid. We were dealing with a chemical that had been invented by the 3M company right around really the time of World War II. It was DuPont that was around the same time had invented its own new chemical called Teflon.
Food doesn't stick to Teflon like it does to other things.
Teflon was famous for its non-stick, waterproof properties. But to make Teflon at scale, DuPont needed the chemical that 3M was producing. So they started buying it in huge quantities, shipping it to what would become the largest Teflon plant in the world, right outside of Parkersburg.
They were concerned, though, by this unique chemical structure of PFOA, this 8 carbons attached to fluorine. The DuPont scientists realized that was a very strong chemical.
And they kept finding a concerning pattern.
There was a wealth of information within both 3M and DuPont that this particular chemical was toxic, persistent, cancer-causing. Yet all of this information was essentially kept internal to the companies. And this information had been covered up. The public hadn't been told, the regulators hadn't been told, the scientific community hadn't been told. And by 2013, they had confirmed that drinking PFOA in the water was linked with 6 different diseases: kidney cancer, testicular cancer, ulcerative colitis, thyroid disease, preeclampsia, and high cholesterol.
Today, there are dozens of companies that produce these chemicals, with more than 10,000 varieties of PFAS on the market. They can be found in the tap water of nearly half the country, in sewage sludge that's spread across our farms, and in the blood of more than 99% of Americans. In April of 2024, Biden's EPA established the first ever federal limit on forever chemicals in drinking water.